The cool autumn wind was blowing light dust across the spacious courtyard of Crosswell University. The red brick buildings seemed to stand as if they were carrying the history of the past. But today there was a different excitement around them. Children and teenagers had gathered after skipping classes, some with banners in their hands, some with mobile cameras in their hands, some with a glimmer of excitement in their eyes. Because there was only one person, Alexander Crosswell. There was so much hype about this young boy, who was only 19 years old, as if he were a star, even though he was still just a college student. But in fact, it would be wrong to say only. The Crosswell family is a legendary name in the arena of American politics. His grandfather was a former senator. His father was a big businessman and a political monster. And now people are saying that Alexander is the future. Today, he will give his first public speech on campus, and it has taken on the form of a festival. He's coming. Someone shouted, and the crowd suddenly broke up. Tall, slim, and dressed in a dark blue suit, Alexander walked toward the stage, looking like he was being sworn in as a president. He had a strange confidence in his eyes, a slight smile on his lips, and the crowd seemed captivated. The reporters in the front row quickly snapped up their cameras. Alexander, are you going to announce today that you are officially entering politics? How are you preparing for your debate with Congresswoman Carter? Do you consider yourself a leader of the next generation? Alexander raised his hand just once and smiled. Standing at the microphone, he said slowly, "Guys, I am just a student, but I believe that our generation cannot be allowed to remain silent any longer. The future is ours, so it is our responsibility to speak about the future." The crowd erupted in applause. Someone shouted, "Crosswell 2036," as if he were already a candidate for the future presidential election. But the same question was on everyone's mind. How prepared is this guy really? On the other side of campus, blending into the crowd, stood Evelyn Grant. Although he was a journalism student, he had already written a major report for the university news magazine. Curiosity and suspicion were both playing in his eyes. He wrote in his notebook, "Alexander Crosswell, fire in words, but what inside?" Evelyn felt that this boy's rise was happening very quickly, as if some invisible force was pushing him. And experienced journalists know that a rapid rise means there is a gap somewhere. As soon as Alexander came off the stage, the crowd went wild again. Everyone ran to take pictures with him, some with selfie sticks in their hands, others asking for autographs. His friend Marcus Reed, whom everyone knew was Alexander's closest companion, quickly led him safely out of the crowd. "Dude, you don't know what you've done," Marcus gasped. Alexander shrugged with a laugh. "I'm just telling the truth." "The truth? You know you're the center of attention not just on campus, but across the country." Alexander remained silent. He knew Marcus was right, but on the other side, news had reached Washington, D.C. Sitting in a dimly lit office, Congresswoman Dana Carter was watching Alexander's speech on the television screen. Her eyes held a strange mixture of annoyance and interest. "Is this the kid coming to challenge me?" she said slowly. Her assistant replied, "Ma'am, the media is already calling him the challenger of your generation." Dana curled her lips and laughed. "Challenge? I fought tooth and nail for Congress, and he still hasn't passed the class." But deep down, she felt that if this young man could be the center of so much discussion now, it wouldn't be easy to face him in the next debate. She whispered softly, "The game is on." The night had fallen on campus, but the excitement hadn't stopped. From the dormitory balcony, the kids were still discussing Alexander's speech. Some say he is indeed a future leader. Others suspect that it is all just a family power game. And at this time, journalist Evelyn is writing on her laptop. Crosswell University saw new history today. Alexander Crosswell gave his first major lecture, and the students made him a hero. But the question remains, is this the birth of true leadership, or just the beginning of another play on the power stage?